Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we are going to talk about 7 crazy marketing experiments that will change your business. And it starts with Neil.
Sure. So one of the biggest experiments that you should be running to drastically grow your business is anything related to brand. Here's what I mean. If more people Google or search for your domain name or variations of it, you'll rank higher for everything. Google doesn't know who to rank higher if everyone does the same SEO, like BMW and General Motors. So they have to go to other external factors that aren't just related to links, on-page SEO to figure out who to rank. Because after someone has 1 million links or the perfect on-page SEO, they're like, well, who do we really rank? And one of the biggest factors that they base it off of is brand queries. Because if 5 times more people, let's say, type in BMW, they're like, oh, wow, this brand's more popular. Let's rank this one higher. So from content marketing to podcasts to anything related to celebrities, test out advertising or pushing your brand with very popular and famous people within your industry, and it'll do wonders for your brand searches. And in the long run, usually 3 months after doing this, you'll notice a nice increase in your overall organic traffic.
Number 2 is building a repurposing framework. So a lot of us out there, we're creating so much content all the time, but we have no process, we have no framework that basically tells us how we can go about making the most of that content. So let me give you an example. An example might be that Neil creates or writes a blog post. Well, is that all he's going to do with it? Or is he going to go out there and say there's a framework that says, okay, if it's outdated, he's going to update it, or he can create it, put it into a different format, such as a social media post or a video, for example. Just having something that's easy to follow and giving it to your team or whoever's working with you is going to help you take your content marketing or your marketing in general to the next level. A lot of us forget about making the most of what we have already.
There was an interesting stat that Eric and I talked about in previous episodes. It was something like, what was it? Over 10% of podcast listeners make over 6 figures. Mm-hmm. It was something like
that. Yeah.
And it was an article that we found on Salesforce. So the third marketing experiment I have for you, if you want to reach out more larger spenders or people who can buy bigger ticket items, go and advertise on podcasts or create your own. It sounds simple. It sounds silly. But in the long run, you can get some of the largest customers hitting you up from the podcast.
And Neil, where do we advertise on?
In our podcast?
Overcast. Yeah.
Overcast, that's right.
Yeah, so Overcast is the podcasting app I use. It's on my home screen. It actually replaced, it's like on the top 4 of my iPhone. And I guess this is number 4. So number 4 is, we talk about remarketing out there, but what if you built a remarketing funnel using videos that tells a story? So if somebody visits your page on SEO, for example, and you have an SEO offer, well, you can teach them a little more about SEO first, and then if they watch a certain percentage of it, you can take them to the next video that might have an offer. And then after that, you can tell them after they watch the offer video, then you can tell them to try to convert. So you're basically telling people a story. You're telling stories at scale without having to have a salesperson there all the time. So think about taking remarketing to the next level, and also think about other creative things you can do with remarketing too. I'm just giving you one example there.
Rand Fishkin recently wrote a blog post talking about his lessons learned from being at Moz. He recently left, decided to create another startup. He hasn't really talked much about what the new startup is, but he talks about an interesting lesson in which video has 10 times more brand awareness than text or any other form of marketing. We've seen similar data and similar stats. So my crazy marketing experiment for you is showcase your daily life. In other words, don't just go and create videos for the sake of doing video marketing, but why not document what you're doing throughout your life, your day, your work, the office environment? And by document this and putting it up on YouTube and Facebook video, or Facebook also has video through Watch, or you can just put on your fan page. You can also add video on LinkedIn as well. And by doing this, what you'll find is you'll build a much more engaged community over time, creates a way loyal visitor, subscriber, And when we've done tests, we found that people who found us through video or have watched a video and they buy a product for us, not only do they tend to pay more, but our lifetime value is up by over 20% compared to someone who doesn't watch a video.
Number 6 is what's old is new again. So an example of this might be direct mail, for example, or it might be radio, or it might be TV. A lot of the advertising budgets are going towards digital because digital is quote unquote the next big thing and it's already here. But that doesn't mean the old stuff no longer works, because once people start to get away from it, costs go down, and it might be just worth giving it a shot just depending on the industry that you're in. So let's say you're trying to pitch really nice vacuum cleaners to the affluent audience. Maybe you can direct mail to somewhere in Beverly Hills, for example, just hit a certain geo-targeted area and then see how that does for you. So go back to the drawing board, think about the old stuff that might work for your industry, work for your audience, and try to take it from there.
Last but not least, number 7, if you're selling a high-ticket item or the customer's worth a ton of money, I'm not talking about a few $100 or a few $1,000. I'm talking about customers who are worth 6-7 figures. Consider sending a carrier over to their office or their home with $1,000 cash. I kid you not, $1,000 cash. And in there, it pretty much says, hey, so-and-so, I have something that you'll love to hear about. I know it's worth your time, so much so that I'm willing to give you $1,000 in cash for just 30 minutes on your time. If you don't like it, you can hang up the phone, never had to hear from me again. But by doing that, people are like, who the heck is this crazy to give me $1,000 cash? You'll find a lot of people will take the phone call. And then from there, when you pitch them on your product or service, there's a really good chance that they buy because they're intrigued. Not too many people will show up with your door or at your door and give you $1,000 in cash.
All right, so that's it for today. But before we go, just go to singlegrain.com/giveaway to check out our giveaway, and we will see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.